Hello everyone, Coach Carol with you once more, and I'm continuing to revamp my genealogy projects with my Ultimate AI Squad. And as you may already know, I have added another fantastic tool to that AI squad called Abacus.ai. Let me share the next piece of my learning with this tool. I'm currently in my Abacus AI account and I'm using the chat LLM. And as you can see here on this blank screen, I'm ready to start writing something in the way of a prompt. And of course, I can start a new chat at any time. I have these tools available for me from GPT-4o through Claude Sonnet, Gemini 1.5 Pro, and the newest Chat 01 Preview and 01 Mini, along with Llama products and others that I haven't yet ventured into. I'm going to stick with GPT-4o today for this particular demonstration because I've realized there's more to this tool than I imagined in the first instance. Right down the bottom here, I hope you can see we've got image, code, playground, screenshot, PowerPoint.gen, and more, which includes video and scrape. I've recently found a very good use for one of these additional tools called PowerPoint.gen. And I'll show you my process in this instance with this particular chat that I had with it earlier. And at the end of its response, you can see that it has created a PowerPoint presentation based on that outline. And I could and have downloaded that PowerPoint. But what was the PowerPoint about? Let me scroll back for you and show you my prompt. And I've recently been listening to other thought leaders in the realm of AI and genealogy, and in particular, listening to Steve Little with his ideas on chain of thought reasoning. And I adapted his prompt into one that I was going to use to develop this PowerPoint. So the prompt goes like this. You wanted the tool to explain in some detail something. And in this case, it's the AI Guide to Genealogy 2.0. The second part of the prompt is asking it to then review the best practices of something. In this case, it's using AI for genealogy. The third part of the prompt is to draft a strategy to plan, research, and write a process for something. And in this case, that something is for genealogists to use AI tools. This next sentence is really important to the prompt. The plan should be designed for you, a large language model, to execute autonomously without external assistance. And then the final part of the prompt is the instruction to execute the plan. So below is what it did. It gives me, and it being GPT-4o, gives me the step-by-step plan and then goes on to list the steps and its content. So it's gone through step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this data could be on any process. In my case, I've simply asked it to draft a strategy to demonstrate the use of AI tools in genealogy. The next most important thing to do was to ask it to then generate a PowerPoint about something And in this case, I've just asked it to do a PowerPoint about step 3, which is the strategy. Execute the strategy autonomously to create my slides. And below, it has given me a brief outline of the presentation, and then executed the PowerPoint, which I have downloaded. I'll pause here and show you the PowerPoint that it produced. What you're looking at now is the PowerPoint document, set of slides, that was produced by the tool Chat4o inside Abacus.ai. It's fairly simplistic, but I can build on that. What it has done is given me, in the matter of moments, a full set of slides that I can work with. And so each one has a similar layout, if you like, and includes the data from the steps that it iterated in the conversation. And to these slides, of course, I can add imagery, change the way it looks by using some of its design, such as, let me plain one here. Doesn't make much difference to it. There we go. If I use that one, now you can see the whole thing in a different layout. So it very quickly enables you to create a set of slides. I really like this process because I use slides frequently in my lessons, but you might be wanting to create a set of slides for your family history. Let's have a look at how we can do that. I'll pause here again. What I have found is that the generation of a PowerPoint works best if you have an outline that it can work with in simplistic format. So what I have done here is I've asked it to generate a PowerPoint about step 4, the implementation, which was part of its response earlier in this conversation. Its response here is to provide a brief outline of that segment, including the dot points, from objective definition to tool selection, data preparation, model training, integration, evaluation, and documentation. And then it says, I'll create a PowerPoint presentation based on this outline. And it's done just that. And here it is. And once again, I have downloaded it to have a look at. Let's pause again. And share a different part of my screen. And this is the PowerPoint that it generated. Once again, it's chosen a very simplistic style and design for these slides. But it has taken the data from the dot points in the strategy itself and clearly identified those on each slide, from objective definition through to evaluation and documentation, as I mentioned before. And once again, you can change the design of these slides and add imagery where required. So it's a very useful little tool if you are wanting to develop a set of slides simplistically from an outline that you've developed with help from your AI tool. And I've used all of that by employing the help of Abacus. I'll share again. What I tried to do was to get it to develop some family history slides from my data that I have for each member of that particular clan. But it struggled with that. It struggled with the fact that I was using a PDF uploaded to its memory, and this was the Ahnentafel that I had taken from my Ancestry records. It has given me the outline or how to do that PowerPoint slide deck, but it hasn't actually created the PowerPoint itself. So I've yet to find why that is so. However, it's given me great ideas here on what would be on each slide. So in this case, it's about my great-grandfather, Samuel John, and it's given a suggested title and a subtitle, something that the AI tools do very well. Then suggests that I consider putting a family crest or relevant historical image in place, then my name and the date on that title slide. But this is a useful thing, even though it hadn't produced the slides. I can now use this information. So then it went on to describe what an introduction slide would look like, the brief overview of the Ahnentafel system, and perhaps a diagram of that chart. Great idea. And then moves on to how each of the individual slides would look for each person. So the slide for Samuel John would include his name, birth date and place, death date and place, interesting fact, and an image. So I can begin to build my slides for each of these people. And in that particular Ahnentafel, it amounted to 97 different individuals. So it suggests that for each ancestor, use the following prompt, which is like the way it had done it for Samuel's slide. And then to include at the end a conclusion slide and an acknowledgement slide, which would be useful for me to put in place, acknowledgements and content and imagery. And if you're wanting it to be more useful for your descendants, then a question and discussion slide right at the end. It depends on why you are creating your PowerPoints and to what purpose you are hoping your descendants will put them. And it does all that with ease. And I've asked it to always sign off so that I know which of my AI tools in my AI squad has helped me in this instance. And in this case, it was chat at Abacus. So good luck with your next explorations with Abacus AI.